There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, rocking our bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
Welcome back, Summoners, to the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Spring Split. My name is Vulcan, and with me is Arctic, your shoutcasters, entering our third game with the quarterfinals of Team Manila Eagles versus Naga Esports.
Yeah, after finally equaling the playing field once again, 1-1, man, oh man. It's kind of like a mini reset. We're going to be looking at a mini best of 3 in a way, but of course, momentum technically is on TME side. They're kind of woke now after a pretty good showing in that game too.
A pretty slap to the face there,
Yeah.
because at this point, the score right now is 1-1. So for Team Manila Eagles, I mean, they did bounce back here, but
Yeah.
Naga Esports, as Arctic said, effectively this can be called a best of 3. But it doesn't mean that in the first game, the momentum, not just from the momentum itself actually, the way it was played, the strategy, everything they learned will pile up as the games go by.
Yes, and of course, as you can see, standings indeed reflect that 1-1, where both sides still be sticking to their guns as usual. No substitutes, they're just going to stick with what they feel is most proficient, especially now that we are in the quarterfinals. No more room for mistakes anymore. It's not like the group stage wherein, I think I mentioned this during one of the previous games, wherein, you know, it's not like, okay, we can just do better during a different day. This is it.
It's actually evident here right now in the quarterfinals that for Naga Esports, despite the roller coaster ride during the group stages, their standings did not really show well. They were at a risk actually at relegation. But Arctic, bouncing back into this quarterfinals, they made it this far. Team Manila Eagles, the defending champions, trying to make a name for themselves here, because not a good split for them, the spring split here, but still in the money for the semifinal spot.
Yeah, meanwhile, let's go ahead and check out these bans being thrown out here so far. So, sa nakikita nga natin, wow, Team Manila Eagles, napaka-bigat ng focus na maban out tong si Calculated. And I think this has been a consistency ng group stage. Nakita naman natin laki ng respeto ng lahat ng teams across the board kay Calculated. Usually, there is a lot of focus on him as opposed to the other members of Naga Esports. And I just think that just goes to show kung gaano kalaking asset si Carl sa Naga.
Kasi Arctic, alam natin sa patch 8.4, for the mages, a huge change in play styles. Not to mention, yung mga champions na you're used to patch 8.3, hindi na sila lumalabas sa patch 8.4 dahil may bagong item sa mage path. Not just the Lost Chapter being the most picked up item, but champions that did kinda rise back to popularity, like I would recall the Azir being played a lot, but not anymore. What a short time Azir lived through.
Yeah, poor chicken.
Poor chicken. But for TME, they will respect, as Arctic said, Calculated. We are seeing, you can see right now, guys, we're seeing the Ari being banned out here, and the Talia, one of the mages that can really influence the side lanes.
Yeah, and this is Calculated that we're talking about.
Definitely.
This player by history, napaka-galing niyang mag-adjust sa meta, and napaka-lawak talaga ng champion pool niya. If anything, if nagsishift lang yung meta, parang it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this back from my pocket, just take it out, okay, we can use that again.
Because you're talking about Calculated, a player with a very broad champion pool. So, due to patch changes, patch 8.4, hindi siya apektado kasi dami siyang champions, and we can see right now here on their phase 2, Let's see. We have yet to see the mid laner for NE, but we're seeing the Banner of Command onto the Scion, a very popular pickup right now here. But I can see right now that this is one of Calculator's popular picks in a way that he would try to be a disabler in a sense in a team fight. So it will be a Zillion lock-in.
Yeah, that's interesting though that Naga Esports is gonna bring that back. I do recall correctly that this Zillion pick right here actually cost Naga Esports a game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
During
I remember
the
that.
group stage. So interesting that they're gonna take that chance again. Hopefully they did get this practice on, and with that practice, figure out a way that it's much more complementary, leading towards a victory.
So as of now, we're seeing for Team Manila Eagles hovering on the Leona. It will now be a final locked in. So Artex, sa tingin mo sa Naga Esports going into our third game, this is what we call in a way the game that can really put the pressure on you. Because as a best of five series, you can actually say that for I think many of our players are not really familiar with it. So think of it this way: you have 5 fingers, right? If you take away 3, you have the majority. So that's how it goes. Whoever reaches 3 points first will be winning our match. So here are the player cards, guys. A summary of our draft.
Yes, and of course, with that, both sides are looking raring to go. This is going to be the extension. And I don't know, man. I'm really itching to see if this is going to go all the way to 5 games. Because TME, they look like they're really starting to build up the momentum. And
Sobrang hype itong mga laro na to kasi it's quarterfinals, and not just that, we are seeing JLC's Shen, one of his favorite picks, one of the picks that stood out during the championship in 2017. But Arctic, everything comes to execution. We'll see that unfold as we go on to the Rift. This is our third game of our match 1 in the quarterfinals.
And there you have it, guys. This is going to be it. Who is going to make it and push it into a potential match point? I guess we'll be finding out as we head on to Summoner's Rift. Once again, this is Naga Esports versus Team Manila Eagles taking the stage.
And that stage and the spotlight is all on them, because when you're talking about the new format of our PGS, the 2018 back in spring split, you need to know that it's always at a cutthroat.
Yeah.
Normally, yung top 2 teams natin would just chill and relax until the final stage. Wala na yan.
Nope.
They will still have to fight for them. It's all about seeding, single elimination, best of 5 series.
Yeah, meanwhile, looks like Naga Esports, they are taking a little bit more of a defensive stance here towards the river, transitioning that into taking that... What's a shrine, I think? Do they call those Garner things shrines? Or I think there's a proper way to call that.
Crystal Spire.
There you go, Crystal Spire.
I think that's the right word, because normally, you talk about Skarner, one of the champions who has that lore. This is going to be objective control for Naga Esports.
And I've been wondering, okay.
What are you wondering?
Marquee and Rox, though, they're just walking by. But yeah, I've been thinking about it lately throughout the entire group stage. Maybe you can help me out here. I mean, kasi yung TME, Eagle, di ba? So, Eagle, lumilipad yan.
Agila, oo.
So, Naga, ano bang ginagawa ng Naga? Nagsislither ba siya? Wala namang legs ang Naga sa pagkakaalam ko. It's like, half. Talagang, it's something that's been bothering me for quite a bit. Like, what do you say when Naga Esports win? Like, okay, the Eagles are soaring. They're slithering?
They're diving.
That doesn't sound really,
No. Imagine a penguin. Penguins are in a way flying under the sea because ang bilis sila mag-swim. So, that's the thing that you can go for Naga Esports. Really propelling themselves, propelling themselves towards their victory and their win condition. Kaso, we are seeing a Skarner and a Sejuani. Normally, yung Sejuani, it's a favorite pick for Naga Esports because it's one of the junglers that they pick onto Rebenga, effective on this player, and this champion really benefits the early pressure.
Yeah, and with this pressure, I'm wondering, kasi ito yung napapag-usapan natin ng mga previous games na si Rebenga tsaka si Coops, sila yung mga junglers na sobrang complementary, almost somewhat mirroring yung kung ano yung usual na naging purpose nila sa team, which is yun nga, i-propel at i-complement tong mga lanes nila, especially lalo na yung mga carry natin na mas maganda yung maging transition nila into the later parts of the game. And ilang beses na rin naman natin nakikita na kapag hindi nila nagagampanan yung role na yun, may tendency na either the lanes just go fairly fine unless may nagagawa yung mga lanes without the assistance of junglers respectively, or it just goes RE. So hopefully that won't be the case though. Gusto ko talaga makita ko ano yung magiging game plan ni Rebenga at ni Coops within these next few minutes.
And the game plan here is rush that banner of command on for any side. You saw naman sa mga plays ni Nib, he had the minion dematerializer, using that to immediately execute isang canyon minion. That's what you can do to deny the play here, empowered by the Baron buff. But for the players here, they're quick to adjust Arctic. Immediately they know a counterplay towards this strategy.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Let's just see if they can execute though, because that's still a little bit of a question on my mind. I mean, without a doubt, on paper, like they know that that is the condition, but as far as it reflecting in how they move across the map and what plays they make, Rebenga just gonna make a little bit of a drive through Trevor.
Trevor, he does know that Rebenga loves ganking, loves giving the priority. We did say this in game 1 and 2 that for Naga Esports, they're not really enabling Iconic anymore. I mean, why try to struggle? Hold that thought. Looks like engage coming in from Name. Roll the Alistair combo. The Eve will grant him the stall, immediately forcing out his flash. Looks like Rox will not have his flash.
Yeah, the next time we do see a fight, Rox is pretty much gonna have to go all in. Kung kailangan man niya bumalik, lalakarin na lang niya yun. So, tingnan natin kung later on, magkakaroon ba ng comeback tong si Rebenga. Rebenga is back nga naman. Tingnan natin kung Rebenga is back in the bot lane in the next few minutes habang down tong flash ni Rox.
So, that could be a potential revisit for Rebenga. But we're seeing right now, Arctic, it's a mid-lane matchup. Yung Rise at Zillion. It's a matter of Zillion. Naturally, he has a powerful wave clear. Yung time bombs niya, stack it up to the minions and it will clear out the wave. For the Rise, it behaves the same way. He also has his own wave clear, but the Zillion will have an easier time because he doesn't need to even be near the range of this Rise. So you can expect that Calculated will just continue to farm his lane. But si Trevor, he will try to influence yung side lanes once he reaches level 6. That's what I want to see actually. He has to do it.
Yeah, he pretty much has to do it. I mean, kung titingnan nga naman natin kung ano yung simula niya, he does have the okay, we'll be using the teleport to actually get back to lane here. Pero gaya ng sinasabi mo, Vulcan, malaki pa rin yung pwede niya magawang impluensya, albeit yung kawalan ng teleport niya through the realm warp once he does hit level 6. So tingnan natin kung magkakaroon man ng oportunidad ba si Trevor na magawa yung play na yun.
And for top lane sides, Iconic is pushing away, just wave. But this Sion, natural wave clears their E and W. That's all you need. But the Soul Furnace will be the wave clear there. We have yet to see the first blood, Arctic.
Oo nga, medyo chill. Actually, not even, I wouldn't even call it chill. Kumbaga, may mga small attempts pa rin. Pero less so from Coops actually. Mukhang mas geared tong si Coops na makapag-transition faster to level 6 para with access sa Glacial Person niya, mas magkakaroon ng impact kapag nakahanap siya ng oportunidad na makapag-gank either sa mid lane, sa top lane, sa bot lane. Depende kung ano mo na maging prioridad ng Team Manila Eagles dito sa unang 10 to 15 minutes ng laro.
The priority is the game plan here. So what I want to look out for is Naga Esports. We know that this is a team with great preparation, but for Team Manila Eagles, they're more on relying on their, I would say, instincts, their natural talent and lane. But when it comes to the late game or to the mid to late game, we have yet to see a TME. Sometimes they could get kills, but they don't really transition that to objectives. We see it sometimes, but not consistently.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit of a tricky thing here. Kung ba't medyo ganyan naging reflection ng group stage performance nila basically. So hopefully, gaya nga ng na-mention nila, gaya ng commitment na binigay sa mga fans nila lalo, na going into the playoffs, mas paghahandaan nila. So, and I think so far, nakita naman natin ng onti yun sa comeback game nila. Just when you thought na medyo nag-slow down na talaga sila, they suddenly build up that momentum again. Pero tingnan natin, this is the best of 5. They're pretty much familiar with this type of scenario. They know how to play these type of high stakes situation out. So pretty confident.
I love the sand pickup here because it really denies a lot of split push power. I mean, pushing power in general on this Shen because despite not yet having the TMN or at least the Bami Cinder, you really, even if you push the sign towards the tower, he doesn't need to worry because he has the wave clear, he has the shield from his W, so he can tank the hits and explode and clear the waves.
And look at this though. So far, nakikita nga natin, medyo nakapag-shove na tong si Iconic sa lane ni JLC. And interesting enough, we haven't really talked about JLC Shen that much yet. So, isa to sa mga champion na very proficient rin naman si JLC. Kumbaga, ito yung pwede niyang dalin sa table kapag nangangailangan yung Team Manila Eagles ng champion na medyo less on relying on JLC to carry, pero yung presence niya kumbaga sa mapa kapag may quote-unquote kaguluhang nagaganap sa ibang parte ng Rift.
That's what you want for the Shen. The level 6 to stand united will be the global pressure that, Arctic, that you want to see around the map. But what I want to see here is that as the waves get pushed by, I think it's difficult to say that for Trevor. He can't really roam the lane because the fact that you're really outpushing your opponent, that's the key here. But calculated, let's see, clears that wave without a problem. So for Trevor, he's actually imprisoned on his own lane. He can't help or go for silence because if he does that, his lane will be pushed in.
Also, it's interesting to note, Vulcan, na tignan natin yung itemization ng parang mid laner na to. So, pareho silang nag-opt na mag-build ng Catalyst, pati na rin yung Tear of the Goddess. So, sure ball, walang magugutom dito sa mid lane pagdating sa mana.
And not just that, we see Trevor having the blue buff. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you. The eternal passive from the Catalyst sustains their health and their mana.
And I think that's definitely a plus here for Trevor lalo. More so, mas beneficial siya para sa akin kasi dahil nasa spam niya yung abilities niya, mas malaki yung consistency ng pagsulit niya doon sa passive na yun. Meanwhile, naglilinger dito si Cooks at si Rox. Mukhang naghanap sila ng opportunity.
Solar Flare, but everything misses. The Zenith Blade, the prison will not connect. Now Nago Esports is going for that counterattack. Here comes the Stand United, but it will be denied there. But he did get the shield, but in the end, it wasn't enough for him to survive. That will be the first blood.
Yes.
Finally going to Naga Esports.
At napakaganda din ang ginawa ni Luxuria. Talagang nakapag-transition siya agad dito sa mid lane. Sobrang pivotal ng rotation niya dito sa para supportan yung mga ibang member ng Naga Esports na nag-set na. So, good play here by Naga Esports. At tingnan mo nga naman ang laki ng value na makuha nila. Na 1 kill plus this mid third. That's gonna open up quite a bit para dito sa NE.
Nearing the 11-minute mark here. The Mountain Drake is live, so they may go up for grabs here on the Mountain Drake, but it's still too risky because we can see the members, they're coming back to their base. They will not respond, but right now Arctic's a bot lane. They're pushing the lane here, so they're forced to go back here and clear out the minion waves.
Yeah, but still, nonetheless, in all fairness to that rotation na ginawa ng Naga Esports sa mid lane, it did allow a bit more of a boost up para dito kay Marky na makapag-build ng CS difference kumpara dito kay Luxuria. Pero take note, medyo compensated naman to sa pamamagitan ng 1 kill na nakuha ni Luxuria, first blood in fact. So I think that pretty much balances out things kahit nagkaroon na ng deficiency pagdating sa creep score nitong mga AD carry natin.
I mean, like CS lead of just for 20 as of now, slight 20, so for Marky, he's doing well in this bar. Same with Luxuria. Also, yung first blood, it went to Luxuria. So the CS deficit that we see right now is not really a big deal because when it comes to the late game, Tristana has the mobility. Does Varus have the mobility? I don't think so. He does have the lockdown with the Chain of Corruption to set up for his piercing arrows. But now, it has to be it all comes down to execution, Arctic.
Definitely. Meanwhile, mukhang mag-drift na tong si Rebemba papunta dito sana kay JLC, pero pitigilan niya ni Kops sa pamagitan ng kanyang Glacial Prison. So, fortunately, denied gank doon.
Again, we're seeing the prison really not connecting from TME. So far, it will just be a warning shot from the Eagles for Naga Esports, having the momentum on their side for now. Just at least they know that Luxuria got the first blood and now scaling slowly. We have yet to see yung first turn, which is actually more valuable, more goal value than the first blood.
And in all fairness, I mean, if you're gonna look at how things are going for Rebenga, so talagang andun ulit yung proactivity. Let's go ahead and check out what happened kanina nga dito sa first mid lane gank natin na nag-proceed into a first blood. So, unfortunately, dito sa team ng Eagles, medyo sumobla yung initiate nila. Ang daming na-miss na potential engage tools na ma-takedown nila si Calculated. At dahil dyan, tinuloy pa rin ng TME. Nag-commit na sila dito sa fight. Pero saktong-sakto na yun. Dyan na si Luxuria para tulungan ng Naga Esports na i-clean up tong si EXO. They tried to go for more. Pero unfortunately, nakapag-back na tong si Rox tsaka si Coops. But still, good start.
Good start. Let's hope it's a good finish for both teams here because they are fighting for the semi-final spot, Arctic. So, gold lead again, not much of a difference, not much of a lead here. It's really minimum, kunti lang talaga yung gold lead. So, as of now, it's more on responding to skirmishes around the map. And who can do that? Iconic can do it with the Scion, with the R, with the ultimate. But for JLC, he has the global presence. So, they're showing that respect, really. Despite having an Alistar, despite having a Zeal, they can go all in or dive a turret. They will not commit to it because they are still wary of the Stand United of JLC.
Yeah, and that's kind of tricky. You know, Calculate getting a bit of a stun here onto Trevor. So, tingin ko as far as like 1v1 potential, I don't think there's any way Calculated can just take down Trevor in a face-off situation. Talagang kailangan may suporta ng kapwa member niya sa Naga Esports, particularly, ideally, syempre, yung carry para mas consistent in damage, is particularly Luxurious, siguro ang mas makaka-benefit dito. Pero sa nakita natin, JLC, nag-build na siya, priority agad sa Banner of Command, so nag-push in na siya dito sa top side. So Iconic is gonna have to deal with that.
You may just get the first turret here because the Banner of Command, as we said, the top laners will rush that. And JLC knows the meta, so he will get the Banner of Command and the Tiamat for extra wave clear and more pressure at the top lane so that he can really respond with his Stand United. We see his teleport, it's available for JLC to use. And not just that, his ultimate.
And nakikita rin natin, kung ikukumpara natin yung item build na magkabilang panic sa top lane, si Iconic, mas prioritize niya yung Abyssal Mask. So, I'd say that this is pretty good as well for Naga because it does in a way complement as well kung ano yung damage na kaya dish out ni Calculated once Iconic is within range to utilize that passive. Not only that, but the stats as well as is a pretty welcome factor.
And the fact that at this point of the game, medyo na-stall tayo Artex alone nito kasi Banner of Command pushing it slowly. It's gone right now. But with the wave clear coming from the side, it's really difficult. But look at that. That minion is immune to magic. The E of the Scion is magic. So this will be beneficial for JLC to push faster.
Yeah, and I think the good thing here is that, Iconic medyo naging consistent na yung fact na nare-restrain na sila pagdating sa kung ano yung extension na pwede niyang gawin pagdating sa pag-push nga dito kay JLC. So, constant ng JLC, nape-pressure na niya tong lane ni Iconic. I'm not really sure if masusulit to ng Naga Esports by transitioning that into a gank. Kasi JLC could just easily dash his way in case Rebenga does try to make a play towards that top lane. So, tingnan natin though.
We all see everything when it comes to the point that we now have our first turret, so this will be the point where Naga may go for the bot lane to push it out more. But in the end, it's really difficult because the first turret got taken down in the mid lane. The Zillion can really outpush this Ryze, really imprisoning the Ryze, trapping Trevor in his own lane. But right now we're seeing Coops waiting on the lane itself, waiting for the right time. Maybe the Solar Flare will set things up here.
Indeed. But at the end of the day, with how things are going, looks like junglers, we are seeing pings. Numbers are looking towards the advantage of
Flash
Esports.
was used by Neve to go for the pulverize that will not connect. Looks like Calculated went for the face track, saw Coop. So they respect this and back out. And note that JLC, he has to Stand United. Chain of Corruption, does not connect. Predator is on here, and now they go on to Calculate. Looks like a dive will happen. Neve soaking the turret's damage. He will pop his ultimate. The prison is there. Stan United is on the Cubs. Here comes TLC, but Luxuria flashes away. He does not get taunted, but he's out of the fight. He cannot help his teammates. So right now, TME bringing the fight to them, goes onto Iconic, but right into the Saiyan ult. Coops immediately gets taken down here, but Marky stacking up those blights. That piercing arrow may be the final blow here, but no, they will not chase. But Trevor, he wants to challenge the turret. Will he go for it? Tanking a lot of hits here, but Iconic is doing the same. He gets the slow from the Q, and now Neeb is here to help Iconic.
Yes, at mukhang at the end of the day, that will end at a 2-for-1. Pabor dito sa Team Manila Eagles. And you have to take note, Naga Esports yung nagpumili na mag-initiate doon sa bot lane fight na nakita natin. And, okay, I'm gonna have to hold off right there because JLC.
The Spirit Refuge had so much damage there, but JLC, he's not gonna escape this one. Or maybe he will. Okay, the last stun really secured his fate here. He was going for that last cone, but it was a bit too far away there. He was out of reach.
Yeah, medyo unfortunate nga yun para kay JLC. Pero dahil dyan, mabibigyan ng oportunidad
look at that
TME.
two-man knock. Pushing it now, Arctic. What's gonna happen here?
Oh!
Piercing arrow.
Yeah, you got sniped, boy, sabi nga ni Marky. Unfortunately, that will cause death on the side of Naga as well as a third. Pero mukhang babalansehin naman to ni Rebenga tsaka ni Luxuria. Although, in all fairness to TME, dahil sa positioning nila, mas makakapag-priority sila dito sa unang Drake. Unfortunately, we're already 19, heading into 20 minutes into the game. Kaya, after that third take, hindi nila, rather for Naga at least, hindi nila mata-transition sana yon into a Rift Herald, which would have at least balanced things out sa pagkuha ng Dragon ng Team Manila Eagles.
But at this point, we are at our 20-minute mark. The Baron is live right now for the taking, and the Mountain Drake has not yet been taken away. That's the first Drake of the game. Still free to grab by anyone, but here's the replay of what happened in the bot lane.
So, gaya na nakikita natin, talagang pinush ng Naga Esports itong fight na to. At you also have to take note, medyo hindi pabor pagdating sa bilang yung naging laban na to para sa NE. And with that being said, for Naga at least, ang dami lang na-expend just to try to get in on that tower dive. At di rin nila na-estimate itong Stand United na nanggaling kay JLC. So, sayang talaga. Medyo na-push masyado ng Naga Esports yung clash na yun.
They were actually too ambitious, overextending also, Arctic,
Yes.
because at this point, kill score is 3-3, and the next Drake is Infernal. Looks like TME took away the Mountain Drake during that fiasco happening in the bot lane, so that will be Naga Esports securing the top side. Wants to settle for the Baron perhaps, or just control the vision there.
Meanwhile, looks like patuloy pa rin pinapush ni JLC tong bot lane. So Iconic just naturally gonna have to try to deal with this flipping ninja pushing in the bot lane.
He has the mobility, so for Iconic, he can't really get much value out of his Q because he will be forced to just use it early. So it's more on JLC being a nuisance, and he can abuse this because he has the Stand United. I mean, if you don't have the driving skills, Arctic, you can't really drive the side towards your team.
And I think the interesting thing here though is that medyo afforded nitong si JLC na mag-split towards yung bot side kasi mas marami siyang tools na makapag-rendezvous dito sa Team Manila Eagles kapag may nangyaring fight towards other parts of the map na hindi nila malalakad basta-basta o pwede mag-unstoppable onslaught si Iconic, pero magagamit lang niya yon kung nagkataon na yung gang is accessible, let's say through Riverside. Kung hindi naman siya makakapag-Tokyo drift through the jungle, masyadong maraming obstacles na pwedeng ultimately bumanggana lang siya. So syempre sayang yung opportunity na yun. What he can work with though is the teleport syempre, pero teleport, that's, I mean,
takes long.
Yeah.
And he may teleport at the wrong time. Not just that, he does not have the assurance that his team will continue the fight. But for the JFC Stand United, may guarantee sila. Prison is too early. Looks like Hercules will be revived from that ultimate. So right now, Team Manila Eagles pushing back Naga Esports. There'll be a snare on to Nate, forced to flash away. Looks like a flash in by Rebenga with the impale. Trevor is under the turret, but he will survive. Coops becomes the killer, and now that's going to be Iconic driving into the mid lane, helping Luxuria get that double kill.
Yes, and of course, that will end in a 1-for-2. Pabor nga dito sa Naga Esports. At dahil sa advantage na yun, itutuloy nila sa pamamagitan ng pag-push dito sa mid lane. Kaya nakapanghinayang, Team Manila Eagles, hindi nila nirerespeto yung ultimate ni Revenga. And I think yan ang naging rason kung ba't mas pumabor siya sa Naga Esports. Kasi dahil dyan, napilitan ang TME na rumisponde doon sa pag-impale ng Skarners kay Trevor. And instead of just kind of backing it off or taking it a bit more easier, not pushing the envelope too much.
Yan ang mistake yun ni, I would say, Trevor kasi he does not have any cleanse, wala siyang QSS, and I can see in the members of TME, they have, especially the high priority targets like Marky or Trevor, they are not going for the QSS because it will hinder their path, obviously.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
for this Varus, you want to get his. After this, you may want to go for the Runan's Hurricane because he already has the Wit's End. But again, it's all about TME. They don't need to get the QSS as long as they can provide the front cover. But that's very difficult because Revenga has the Predator Keystone.
And you also have to take into account na for Team Manila Eagles, they also have to watch their positioning as well. Lalo itong mga key carries na pwede talagang mahatak ni Revenga at mas mapapadali ang buhay ang Naga Esports na mag-focus na lang sa kanya because of that immobility, because of not having that movement. But
Here comes the Bagasi. JLC, the Prism will not connect to any members, but they do get the slow. Goes to the chain of corruption from Marky. Will land. He's free to hit here while the members of TME, JLC is distracting the members of Naga Esports, but in the end, they don't have their tank, they don't have their front line. It's going to be Naga Esports forcing TME to back up. Double kill for Luxuria, gets the reset there. This could be the triple. Yes, it's a triple, making a quad. That's only Marky very low in health, and the monster shot plus the last hit will be the quadra.
Yes, and it looks like calculated. He's gonna try to go for that ace, and that will be JLC down. And with that, Naga Esports kukunin na nila ang premyo na in the form of Baron Master.
I mean, it's ace archer, that's technically free.
Yep, very
What
much.
happened there? Because for Team Manila Eagles, they wanted to go for a fight. Actually, they were responding to it because they saw an ultimate that forced their hand into that fight. But in the end, they lost. They lost a lot. They got ace, and the Baron went to them. This skyrockets that gold and to a lead of, ooh, look at that, 4,000.
Yan, tingnan natin kung ano yung naganap dito sa clash na to. So nakita nga natin, nagkaroon ng initiate
Nice
dito galing kay Iconic. Tapos, Coops, he tries to lock down yung ibang miyembro ng Naga Esports na nag-pursue nga dito sa backline. Yun nga lang, dahil dyan, pansinin nyo, wala masyadong pumansin kay Luxuria. Kaya nakapag-re-hit itong marksman ng Naga Esports sa fight na to. Unfortunately, si Marky naman, hindi siya ganun ka-painful as what Luxuria packs in a punch. So, nakapanginayang talaga. And at this point, it was just Naga Esports clearing out TME from fleeing. At kaya nga nang sabi ko, cherry on top, nakuha nga nila yung Baron. So, napaka-crucial na nito para sa TME kasi laking pool ng Baron sa Naga Esports na nakapag-shove in dito sa lane. Gaya na nakita natin, and take note, Deva Tristana, mas mapapabilis pa to.
Here it comes, Arctic. The cannon minion, that will not really last long. This could spell disaster because TME, they don't have a minion dematerializer, so. And not to mention the members, there's a Sejuani. They'll force a fight into the bot lane. Inhibitor turret, but Luxuria again is left with free hit. While we see Iconic responding to the flank with the side ultimate, getting the 2-man knockup under the turret, forcing Team Manila Eagles to back up, but Luxuria will not let them back up. There's the stand united for him to protect Marky, but in the end, that's going to cost them a lot of points there because the stand united was used. In the end, that will be Marky still fighting back here. He will try to get a kill here. Will the members of Naga Esports whittle down slowly, and now Trevor forced to flash away here because he does not want to die.
Yes, and still, at the end of the day, it looks like TME, there's still one on it. So finally, na-realize na ng Team Manila Eagles na kailangan nilang pansinin si Luxuria sa mga fight na to. At dahil dyan, medyo lamamang nga naman sila at hindi na nakapag-push tong Naga Esports. So, I guess it's mission accomplished kasi napigilan nila yung onslaught ng first wave nitong Baron na wave na nanggaling sa Naga Esports amidst yung proactivity ng pagpupush nila dito sa bot lane. Pero tingnan natin kung ano yung naganap dito. So, si Coops immediately, once na medyo dikit tong si Luxury at saka si Calculated, immediately tried to go for that. Unfortunately, Luxury was able to escape. But here comes Iconic. Tries to salvage this fight by going. Unfortunately, not necessarily yung key carries na dapat masetan ng Naga Esports yung na-reach nila. Tapos, ito medyo naging tricky ito para sa Naga Esports. So, pinagpilitan pa rin nila yung dive na to. They were able to get the turret. Unfortunately, nakapasok si JLC just enough to get Luxury. And I think that was because of the impale coming in from this corner. So, technically, special delivery ng TME onto the marksman of the esports yung naganap dun. So, could have easily been avoided. Medyo, that's something that Rebecca has to take into account of.
And now we're at the 30-minute mark here. Looks like Team and Eagles, they don't want that cannon to survive. So they'll just mine it out, clear it out, because I think of all the clash that happened, one Baron buff survived. It was actually Neep on that Alistar, but at this point, I think it may expire soon. So right now, at least Naga Esports, yes, it did expire, so they will not have the Baron buff on their hands, but the next Baron buff should be up quite a bit. And you know, in patch 8.4, the more Baron buffs you get, the more powerful it becomes.
And man, I don't know. Let's go ahead and see how, if we are actually able to reach that point in the game. So it looks like Naga Esports, they are looking to open that window of opportunity once they can potentially get a pick-off of the members of Team Maligas. Pero mukhang bot lane ang magiging target nila dito. Kompleto silang limat, take note. So, ito, Team Maligas, they have to go on the defense for the siege coming in from NE.
And the siege will that be easy to Arctic, because we're seeing an Alistar getting hard engage on you. The Cyan is the upper front line. Now the question is, TME, they're confused because this is confusing, because if they go for the hard engager, they'll try to make their members go get closer, and that's what Rebecca wants. He did pop Predator. Now the inhibitor is the target for Luxuria. He does have the range, so he will clear that out. Flash Impale is there. No USS. They cannot cleanse away from that. Market gets his stand. United gets the shield, but he will not survive. That's going to be Naga Esports going into the inhibitor with a base flooding in. That's going to be a pickup on the JLC. Now Coops next. Looks like the reset. Luxuria flashing in. Great flash for Luxuria. He wants to get a kill. They want to secure this third game.
At mukhang magagawa nga nila yun, Vulcan, because they can just go straight for these Nexus turrets. Kompleto pa sila. That could be Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2, as well as the Nexus potentially. Medyo mabigat pa ang mga death timers dito ng Team Manila Eagles. Si Rocks na lang ang natira sa kanya, pero that's the support. Crowd control will not be able to stop Naga Esports from finishing this game, and that will end at match point with Naga Esports taking it 2-1 against Team Manila Eagles.
This is what I said when it came to Game 3. It will really force you to think that it's like a best of 3 series, but now we are at match point 2-1 with Naga Esports taking away that victory against Team Manila Eagles. So we saw how Luxuria was able to pop off on his Tristana, not to mention the engages coming from the Cyan, plus the clutch impales coming from Revenga really helped them snowball themselves into this game.
Yeah, and I feel like one issue rin sa nakita natin dun sa Team Manila Eagles is yung consistency ng damage, kumbaga. I don't think it wasn't enough. If anything, Trevor wasn't dealing that much significant damage as the game went along. So, I think napakalaking kawalan nun sa Team Manila Eagles. They have the set potential. They have the well-rounded protect as well through JLC. Depende sa kung sino ang magiging target ng Naga Esports doon. Yun nga lang, at the end of the day, the fact that the damage wasn't sufficient, plus Luxuria just free hitting like there's no tomorrow, Team ME not taking into account just how painful that marksman was, pretty much sealed the deal for this victory for Naga.
And now we're at match point. The mentality should shift right now for Team Manila Eagles, because best of 5 series is very exhausting for the players themselves. You need to be always aware that you are at a risk to lose the entire match. So with Naga Esports at match point here, let's see, moving on to game 4, will this be the last game, and will Naga Esports move on to the semifinals? We'll see after the short break. My name is Vulcan, with me was Arctic. After the short break, we will continue on to our 4th game.
Si Cooks tsaka si Rocks mukhang naghanap sila ng opportunity.
Solar Flare, but everything misses. The Zenith Blade, the Prison will not connect. Now Naga Esports is going for that counterattack. Here comes the Stan United, but it will be denied there. But he did get the shield, but in the end, it wasn't enough for him. And now they go on to calculate. It looks like a dive will have an A. Soaking the turret's damage. He will pop his ultimate. The prison is there. Stan United is on the come. Here comes DLC, but Luxuria flashes away. He does not get caught, but he's out of the fight. He cannot help his teammates. So right now, TME bringing the fight to them, goes on iconic, but right into the Saiyan ult. Coop immediately gets taken down here by Marky, stacking up those rights. That piercing arrow may be the final blow here, but no, they will not chase the Trevor in the fight. Yeah, but for the jury of the Stan United, may guarantee sila. Prison is too early. The calculator will be revived from that ultimate. So right now, Team Manila Eagles pushing back Naga Esports. There'll be a snare on to Nate, forced to flash away. Looks like a flash in by Rebecca with the impale. Trevor is under the turret, but he will survive. Coops becomes the killer, and now that's going to be iconic. Driving into the mid lane, helping Luxuria get that double kill.
Yes, and of course that will end in a 1-for-2.
Okay, here comes the Magasi. JLC, the prison will not connect with any members, but they do take the slow. Looks at the chain of corruption from Rocky. Will land. He's free to hit here while the members of TME, JLC is distracting the members of Naga Esports, but in the end, they don't have their tank, they don't have the front line. It's going to be Naga Esports forcing TME to back up. Double kill for Luxuria, gets the reset there. This could be the triple. Yes, it's a triple, making a quad. That's what Marky very low in health, and the monster shot plus the last hit will be the quadra.
Yes, and it looks like calculated. He's gonna try to go for that ace, and that will be jailed.
They'll force a fight into the bot lane. Inhibitor turret, but Luxuria again is left with free hit. While we see Iconic responding to the flank with the side ultimate, getting the 2-man knockup under the turret, forcing Team Manila to back up, but Luxuria will not let them back up. There's the Stan United for him to protect Marky, but in the end, that's going to cost them a lot of points there because the Stan United was used. In the end, that will be Marky still fighting back here. He will try to get a kill here. Will the members of Naga Esports whittle down slowly, and now Trevor forced to clutch away here because he does not want to die. Flat out, flash and kill. Is there no USS? They cannot cleanse away from that. Marky gets the Stan United, gets the shield, but he will not survive. That's going to be Naga Esports going into the inhibitor with a base flooding in. That's going to be a pickup on the JLC. Now Coops next, looks slide. The reset, Luxuria flashing in. Great flash for Luxuria. He wants to get a kill. They want to secure this third game.
At mukhang gagawa nga nila yun, Vulcan, because they can just go straight for these Nexus turrets. Kompleto pa sila to be Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2, as well as your Nexus potentially. Medyo mabigat pa ang mga death timers dito ng Team Manila Eagles. Si Rocks na lang ang natira sa kanya, pero that's the support. Crowd control will not be able to stop Naga Esports from finishing this game, and that will end at match point with Naga Esports taking a 2-1 against Team Manila Eagles.
This is what I said when it came